runs smack into the face of his future, who keeps on running smack into the face of his future. This is a story about a man, who ran smack into his future. He keeps on running this man, he keeps running this man, smack into the face of his future. This is a story about a man who shuns stillness, who runs smack into the face of his future. This is a story about a man who runs, who still runs smack into the face of his future. This is a man who won't stand still. This is a man who ran smack into the face of his future. He shuns stillness, he stuns stillness, he guns stillness. This is a story about a man whose cunning keeps him running smack into the face of his future. Smack face to face with the face of his future. His cunning makes him race ahead of his future, way ahead of his future. Thinks he's way ahead of his future, but gets way ahead of his future. But God, this man ran smack into the face of his future. This is the life story of a man who ran straight into the face of his future. God, this is the story of a man in his life. As he runs, he keeps running right smack up against the back of his future. This is the story of a man in his life as he smashes into the back of his door frame. He smashes pain and door frame, seeking room, more room, away from small rooms, running away, far away, miles away from the small airtight rooms he calls his past. He is running, he keeps running, he is running as fast as he can, he is running as fast as he can, in the face of his future, smack right into the face of his future. He's running away, he has the notion, he has the cunning to run smack into the face of his future, but running as fast as he can away from his past, away from his past, away from his past. He's running as fast as he can away from his loss. He's keeping running at pace of his loss. He keeps running astride of his loss. The loss of his life energy, the loss of his life target. The fast run away from his past is the cunning notion he has of getting ahead, of running straight ahead into his future. As he runs away, runs as fast as he can away from his past. But God, he's lost. He's really lost. This is about a man who's lost. A man who's really lost. A man who has lost his past. Lost his past. He ran fast. He lost his past. The loss of his past has him running smack into the face of his future. When he lost his past, he was running fast. He was running and losing. Was losing and running away from his past. He was running and losing. Was losing and running away from his life. Cost. He didn't mind the cost. Cost was outside the mind. He didn't mind the cost. Here now, life is here now, running away. Running away. Far away from this loss, the loss of himself. Himself, the lost him. The lost himself. Speaking at breakneck speeds back into the face of his future. He crashed into his future. He crashed right out of his past and ran straight back into the face of his future. He ran, he's running, but with all his cunning. He smashed his past by running too fast. So he got lost. He got lost. He got lost. He was running and got lost. He ran and he was lost. He got lost. He was running fast. He got lost. He was lost. This is the story of a man who ran smack into the face of his future, ran straight ahead into his loss, ran smack into the face of his future. He ran, he runs, he ran. He keeps on running with the cunning notion that he is running, keeps him from getting lost. And he runs and he's lost, and still runs and is lost. Lost. Then he stopped. He stopped. All of a sudden he stopped. He stopped running. All of a sudden he stopped. He stopped running. He stood still. Stood absolutely still. He was listening. 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 Many times. This was a song from another age. This was a song he had sung and forgotten. Then he heard the voice. He stood absolutely still and listened to the voice rise in the silence. He heard his own voice. He heard his own voice in the silence. He was singing the song he had sung. He was still absolutely still in the